All right, we are back to learn how to finish the applique version of the earrings. So what you ended up with was a few rows around the center, and now we're gonna trim all the way around it as close as possible without cutting the threads on the back. So I've got a little bit left here to trim. Being super careful. Right, that's probably good enough. So what we also have is backing. I've got some of the fake leather. It's kind of pebbled texture. I've cut that down to size. I've got some jump rings. These are the ones that open up, but I've closed them so that we can put an earring hook on it. We got the size 10 seed beads. I've got the E6000 industrial glue, and we've got our trusty needle and thread. I've knotted the end of the thread. So we're gonna get started here by adding the jump rings. What I do is place towards the top where it's half showing, and you hold it in place as best you can. You start on the back so that your knot is hidden back there. We're going to do a loop around each side and around the bottom. Okay, I came up between rows 1 and 2, so I'm going to go back in just the side of it between rows 1 and 2, and try not to prick your fingers. And coming around the other side of the jump ring. Make sure your ring is still in the same position you want it to be. Hold it still. You can even come down. Ouch. Pricking myself. Okay. See here we got one thread coming on this side, one thread coming this side. I came out the bottom of the ring, so now we're going to go above the ring. So we're going to do that a couple more times. I'm going to clear my space here so the camera will focus. Apologize about that if it keeps going in and out. I'd say 4 or 5 times is good enough to secure the ring in place. Alright, we're gonna call that good. So, sorry, we've got white on white here. It's a little hard to see, but I've got about 4 spots here where the ring's nice and secure. It's not gonna go anywhere. All right, so I'm gonna come up through the top edge near the ring, inside, outside, doesn't matter. That's gonna be my starting point for the edging. But before we do the edging, I wanna cut and size the backing. So we're gonna use a little dab of glue in the middle. You don't need it around the edges because you're stitching the edges. I'm just going to put a little line down the middle, just like that. We got the pebbled side facing outwards. That's the pretty side. Center it, push it down, hold it, and now we're going to trim. You want to get behind the ring so that you're not cutting the ring itself. Then just work your way around, matching up the edges. And clean up the top a little bit. That's good. So the back looks good. All right, so the common edging we use for finishing an earring is called a Picot. We're going to start by picking up 3 seed beads. So you're coming out the top front and you're going to go through the back. We're going to go to the side of the ring there. Just a little ways down, I'd say maybe 2 millimeters, but we want to come up the front side above row 1. Just that little bit of edging there is what we want to catch when we come up. Pull it, and then flip this bead back here. We want to go up through it like that and pull straight through. Pull tight. Now you've got a little triangle, and this is the only step where you have the 3 add-on. Every time you pick up beads from here on out, you'll pick up 2. You're going to go through the back just a couple of millimeters over and down, come up through the front, catching the edging just above row 1. I've got, again, probably about 2 millimeters between where the needle is and the bead. Pull it, flip it, come up through the last bead there, pull straight. Okay, 2 more beads from the back, a couple millimeters over, and this one's, there we go, it's coming through. Okay, flip it, come up through that last bead, pull. So we're going to do that all the way around, and when we get to the end, I'll show you how to finish that off. Alright, so we are ready to complete this. We've gone most of the way all the way around. I'm going to add a few more beads here. Remind you again, pick up 2. You go through the back, a few millimeters over, come through the front, above row 1. You're going to turn it, go through the last bead there, going up, pull it, pick up 2 more. So this time we've got the ring kind of in the way, so after I pick up the 2, I'm going to feed my needle through the ring, but I'm not going all the way. I'm just enough so I can turn it around and come up through the leather on the inside of the ring. Move this out of the way so you can see. We're going to come up through the front. I didn't quite catch enough that I wanted to, so back it out and come up again. That's good. Alright, so pull, and before you pull all the way through, you can catch that last bead there. Just that last one. Come up and pull tight. It'll fall into place. So now we've got this, the beginning bead and the ending bead here. So we're going to add 1 to finish off. What you're going to do is come down through the first bead, but I want to go towards the back. So easier if you flip it. I'm going through that first bead, going down, but I'm not catching any of the fabric or the earring. I'm going through the ring just because it's easier to guide. Pull. So that 1 bead we added sits on top like that. Now what I'm going to do is go through the leather. Looks like I've got space on the inside of the ring. So I'm going to go through and come out the front. Alright, and then one more time I'm going to go through the earring itself, and I think what I want to do, because we're going to have to tie this off, so I'm going to go ahead and angle. You can choose either side of the ring. I think I'm going to go towards the beginning, so we're going to go ahead and angle, come out close to the thread there. You see that? Pull straight through. So that first thread you did at the very beginning on the back, I'm going to tie a knot around that thread, so I'm coming underneath it, underneath the bead and under the thread. If you catch a little bit of leather, that's fine. Okay, so this is where the knot part comes in. You have your loop, put your needle through the loop and pull. Pull tight. Do it one more time. Under the thread, just under the bead, Put your needle through the loop, pull tight. Now the final step, we want to secure the tail. So I'm going to go in between the leather and the crafting stabilizer that we were using to bead on. And then what I like to do is come out the front anywhere in here. Even if it goes through some beads like it is now, that's fine, because we're going to pull it. And I'm actually going to use this to hide the tail. We're going to go through the set of beads like that, pull it through, cut it off as close to the beads as possible. If you have a little bit of thread popping up, I just use my needle and tuck it in. Usually it goes right into the bead next to it. There we go. Tail is hidden. You've now got a complete earring. It helps to have a set of pliers because you're going to need to open up your earring hook gently, because these things break easily. Just enough opening to get the hook onto the ring, close it up, and there you have it. A complete beaded applique earring. You're all set to do the second one on your own. And like always, feel free to give me a call or a text or shoot me an email if you need further assistance. I'm always here. Thank you.